Hi guys, welcome to my Etsy channel. This is Nancy, and this channel is dedicated to helping you build a thriving business on Etsy. On today's video, I'm going to talk about understanding SEO, understanding how to find keywords that you could organically rank for, and also if you were to run a Facebook ad, you don't have to, pay so much in cost per bid, and how to use Etsy Rank to your advantage, whether you're using the free or the pro version, how to truly find keywords that you could rank for versus keywords that are generic keywords or keywords that are very popular that everyone else is using. So therefore, it will be very, very hard for you to rank for. So let's go ahead and get started. This is a channel that sounds like something that you would like to subscribe to learn more on growing your Etsy. Make sure you do so and make sure that you give this video a thumbs up. So let's go ahead and get started. So the reason why I wanted to do this video is because in my Facebook group, Etsy seller support group, we were talking about how would you search for a baby headband. And obviously, majority of people will put in an Etsy search results, baby headband. I mean, it's just the natural word to use. It's the word that you think of when you're looking for a headband. The only thing with that keyword is that, so the first thing that you want to do, so let's start from scratch. The first thing you want to do before you open an Etsy shop, you need to do your market research. You need to find a product or something that you want to sell, but you also need to have an understanding if that product or market that you're trying to get into, is it growing, is it mature, or is it like pretty new? So if it's mature, it means that a lot of people are already doing the same thing, right? So therefore, you have to decide, right? Okay, I still want to follow this passion. I still want to do headbands. However, for me to get noticed because I'm competing, right, with so many other people, my store has to be the absolutely best store on Etsy. I have to have the most amazing photos. I have to have the best tags. I have to run a lot of advertising. I have to network. I have to be in all social media platforms. You're going to have to dedicate a lot of time, a lot of marketing time in order for you to get some traction. Because now you're going to be competing with hundreds and thousands of stores that are using the same keywords and also selling similar products. So you have to be better. You have to stand out from the competition. And that means covering all aspects, not just SEO, right? Because you could do SEO, but then if your pictures are not that great and your store doesn't look that great and you don't have branding and your colors are not cohesive, guess what? You're not going to make sales no matter if you're using the proper keywords. So therefore, if you go in a niche that is oversaturated, then you need to do so much more work than the average person. That's why there's shops out there that have, like, let's say 50 products, but they sell like crazy. And that's because not too many people are doing or selling the things that they're selling. So they're very unique. So therefore, they could find keywords easier. They could rank for keywords easier, right? Organically. And then when they run an ad, their cost per click is not as high. And they get more traction because when people search for certain stuff, their store is the one that pops up first. Versus if you're selling, for instance, baby headbands, now you're competing with such a large market that you have to make sure that your store checks every single thing I talked about to make your store better than everyone else. And on top of that, I recommend, if you're using keywords that are oversaturated and a lot of people are using, I recommend running ads because that's going to boost your visibility. It's going to get more impressions. It's going to get more eyes to your shop. However, keep in mind that just because you get more eyes and more impressions doesn't necessarily equate more sales, because not only do you have to do SEO, like I said, you have to make sure that you practice like branding, that your shop looks amazing, that you have a great banner, that you have great products. And then also keep in mind that a bad photo also could prevent you from making sales. So you have to make sure that your photo is spectacular. That way, those emotional buyers that see stuff and they're like, oh, I have to get that, they'll buy from you. So just keep that in mind. The first thing you do is market research. If you haven't done the market research and you just decided to go on a whim and open a shop and say, this is what I want to do, that's fine. But keep in mind that this is what happens now. You kind of have to learn the harder way, which is fine because we all done it that way. I've done it that way. So I'm not like saying it's not the right thing. I'm just saying that from experience, so you could make more money, right, and work less and be smarter is better if you do a market research first, because then you have a better idea of if your product is going to take you, maybe 10 hours a week to kind of promote it and that's it, or if it's going to take you 80 hours a week to promote in order to even make sales. See what I mean? Like the difference. So that's the first thing, right? You got to work smarter and then you make more money as well if you do the research at first. Secondly is understanding how SEO works, right? So SEO, as you might know, is search engine optimization. It's basically how the search engine finds you, how Yahoo, Bing, how Etsy search engine works. So when somebody types in a word, if they type in baby headband and they find you, that's organic search, right? That means that they found you by simply typing your name. You did not pay any ads. Now, if you pay for an ad, what that does is boosts you up to the first, second, third, fourth page of Etsy search results. Therefore, moving you from page 50, right? Let's say you were at page 50, moving you all the way to page, let's say 3. Now, keep in mind that just because you run an Etsy ad doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be in the first page of Etsy. The reason why is because if you're doing a keyword that's very overpopulated, like this one, baby headband, 297,000 people are using that listing. Therefore, if you create a new listing today with that headband, with that keyword, how Etsy and other search engines rank your listing is based on different factors. It's based on how popular your store is. It's based on how popular that particular item is. It's based on how many sales you got. It's based on the history of that listing. It's based on how many people engage with your store. I mean, there's so many different factors. So if you're spanking new, right? You're very, very new and you don't have all these other factors yet because you develop that over time. Guess what? You're gonna be you're gonna be buried at the end of the search results. And if you do, let's say you run an ad, it's gonna move you up because you're paying for that, right? So you're paying in order for them to put you like this. This is an ad to kind of put you in the first page of Google. I mean, of Etsy, the second, third, or whatever. They're gonna push you up. But the other ads, right, that have more of those factors, those SEO factors, and they have been around longer than you have, they're going to get a little bit more of the benefit than you. Now, once in a while, you might hit the first page because I do think that they give a fair trial for everyone to be on the first page. However, is it going to happen very often with a keyword that everybody in the mama's competing with? Probably not. So just keep that in mind. That means that it doesn't mean that you can't use it. It just means that you have to work more. It means now you have to advertise your stuff on Google AdWords. You have to do Facebook ads. You have to promote it all across all your social media platforms like Pinterest, Instagram, Facebook, anywhere that you could promote it at, because you're competing with the larger market. You're competing with a market that a lot of people sell headbands. So this is the reason why it's better to find a niche that you could actually compete with, that you don't have to do so much work, but then you make a lot of money, versus one that you have to do so much work and you're like, is this even worth to make $300 a month? Or maybe you're making more than that, right? But just depending on how much you make. But it's just a lot of work because there's so many other people competing with you. So a lot of people think, oh, well, this must be a good keyword because a lot of people, you see, it comes up a lot. No, it's not. It's the opposite. You have to think about it the opposite. If you have a headband shop and there's 297,000 other people that have headband shops, guess what? That's your competition. But if you have a baby headband and then you pull up the numbers and it shows that 10,000 other stores have the same shop or same products, then you have a fighting chance to dominate Etsy on that particular niche because there's not that many people. So all you got to do is make yours better, run a couple ads, and then you'll stand out. However, when you're competing with so many people, that's when it gets challenging. So that's when your conviction comes in, right? Because at first you're all into it. You're like, yes, I'm happy, I'm excited. I'll open the next shop. I can't wait to do this. You start doing it. You have your beautiful headbands. You're creating products, and then over time, like after that, after that emotion wears out, right? That excitement comes down. Months later, you're like, what am I doing wrong? I only got this amount of sales. I'm not making enough to quit my job or enough to say making six figures a year or more, or depending on what you measure success, right? So then what do you have after that? Conviction. That's when you have to push yourself. That's when you have to say, okay, no matter what, I know I'm oversaturated market. I'm going to continue. I'm going to do the research. I'm going to learn about SEO. I'm going to switch my tags. I'm going to market here, market there. I'm going to master one social media platform. You don't have to master all of them. Maybe you do Facebook ads and then you do Pinterest and you focus all your energy on that. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to email. I'm going to create an email list. Then you got to get very creative in order to make your store grow and become how you want it to become, only because you're in a market that is a lot more harder. When you're in a market that's very unique or there's not a lot of competition, it is easier to stand out, because if you do all the work and you are actually making sure that your store looks the best and you're doing this and you're doing that and you're fixing this and your store has, looks beautiful, the success will come along with it. So I just want to be really clear on that researching your keywords are very important. One of the biggest mistakes people do is they think about, okay, so what keywords will people look for? Oh, they look for baby headband. That's one. Baby girl headband. That's two. Newborn headband. That's three. They do that. They add the keywords, but they never research if those keywords are actually good to use, right? So my job on my group and my job on my channel, what I really, really try to emphasize is the how to find the right keywords, because those are it's very important to understand how keywords work, and also important to understand how you could use a keyword that you could rank organically right away, or use a keyword that's going to take you longer. Not impossible, right? But just longer. And if you have that understanding and you know that, it's going to be easier to say, okay, I understand why I'm not getting as much traffic or as much sales because I'm in an oversaturated, versus saying, this doesn't work, I quit, right? So then you'll have a better understanding. If you have a better understanding of it, well, then you're fine. And, you just got to market a little bit more, work a little bit harder, and maybe you're okay with that. Maybe you're okay with that. Maybe you are going to take the time to rank for that keyword. Also, if you have a website, let's say you have a website outside of Etsy and you're using keywords that are very, very broad, it's almost impossible to drive traffic to your blog, because blogs work the same way as Etsy. Blogs are measured, like the SEO is measured by how many years that blog has been, up and running. How many backlinks, right? How many people are pointing back to that blog? How much authority does it have on Google or any search results? It also takes factors social signals, like, are people sharing the content? Are people talking about it? Are people commenting about it? It's all these different factors. So if you go to Google right now and you were type in baby headband, I haven't done this yet, so we're gonna do this together. It's gonna kind of give you an idea of how many people or how many things out there say baby headbands. So there's about 226,000 search results. So if you were to use that keyword, you're competing with the largest companies. Look at that. You're competing with Target, with Kohl's. You're competing with Bye Bye Baby. These are companies that have thousands and thousands of blog articles. They have keywords. They have pictures. They've been around for a long time. So guess what? Your blog might show up on page 10, 11, 12, 50, 30. It's going to be buried all the way in the bottom. And that's why a lot of people, when they have a blog or a website, they don't understand why they're not driving traffic or why they can't be found organically. It's because they're using keywords that are too oversaturated, so therefore they never get the traffic that they want. But if you use a keyword that's not oversaturated, then you will, pop up in the first page of Etsy, which is what you want to do. You want to be in the first page. So this is one keyword that I researched: increase Etsy sales. And if you see, I'm on the first page of of Google, how to increase sales on Etsy. And this is my blog. And this particular article, I get hit about 10,000 views a month. But that's because I'm on the first page of Google. However, if I was buried, if this keyword wasn't popular and I was buried all the way to page, I don't know, 150 or page 20, guess what? I'm not going to get that traffic that I'm driving now. So this is something that you have to keep in mind when you're going to write something. You have to make sure you find keywords and stuff that you're going to rank organically for the keyword. You could rank organically for the photo as well. That's another trick to rank for. But this applies for Etsy. It applies if you have your own website that you promote your Etsy products. You have to use keywords that are not oversaturated. Unfortunately, baby headband is a great keyword to describe your item. However, it's so great that so many people are using it. If you could see on Etsy Rank, on the keyword search, you could see that the competition is very high. That means that you're gonna have a lot of competition. So this is for what word? Baby headband. So let's go ahead and refresh it, because I think I was looking at something else earlier. So there's obviously we talked about this, over 297,000 stores. So therefore, um, it's just very, very hard. I mean, you could rank for it, in the sense of if you spend a lot of money in advertising, and over time, once your store gets a little bit more acclimated, because now you have additional SEO factors favoring your shop. However, in the beginning, when it's a new listing, it's a lot harder. So this is just a way that you could come in here, and what I recommend is playing with the keywords, like maybe putting girl baby headband, putting nylon baby headband, maybe putting colorful baby headband, kind of adding more, making it a long tail keyword versus a generic keyword. Even Etsy says this. If you go to the ultimate, everything you need to know, ultimate guide, I posted this on my Facebook group. Um, they talk about this. They talk about tags, they talk about, trying to compete for popular generic searches like top bed or diamond ring. Um, is not something you should do. You should try to do tags that are a little bit longer, because even though people are searching for that, the issue is the popular. See, trying to compete for popular generic searches is really hard, like top bag or like baby headband, diamond ring. So if you describe the product a little bit more, so you put natural diamond ring, you add that additional keyword in front of it, most likely you'll find additional keywords that are still in demand, but less competition for those particular keywords. And if you could apply one of those keywords to your product, then you have a higher chance of getting found. So if you sell a headband and the headband is pink, and you type in pink baby headband, and that has a lower competition, it's not like 300,000 people using it. Let's say it's only 10,000 people using it. You have a better chance of ranking for that keyword versus one that 300,000 people are using. So this is exactly what I was talking about. It's just understanding what keywords work, what doesn't work, and using long tail keywords. The long tail keywords is basically, a lot of times it's just adding that extra keyword in front of it. So natural diamond ring, or yellow diamond ring, or I don't know, blue diamond ring, like just adding an additional keyword. Obviously, you want to use keywords that describe your item. So if your item is a blue headband, you don't want to say blue and pink, you don't want to use that keyword. but using stuff like that or colorful. And then if you put in pink headband and then you start getting blue and you start getting all these different colors, then selecting those different colors as well. But I recommend using Etsy Rank because Etsy Rank definitely, one is free, so you don't have to pay anything for it, and two, you can rank for these keywords by doing the research. So if you do the research and taking the time of looking for the right keywords, you could rank organically, and also when you pay an ad, you're not paying an arm and a leg. So it's important that you spend the necessary time. I know it's tedious, it's a lot of work doing this, like researching keywords is so hard, but it is so worth it. For this one is a really good one, new nude nylon headband. You see, like, it's low competition, so if you have one that's nude and it's nylon, this will be a good keyword here for you. But it's just doing that research. It's just really spending the time in looking for keywords, because keep in mind, keywords is what people search for when they find your item. Then having an amazing photo, because the photo is what entices them to click on the photo. And then after that is having a great listing description, because the listing description is basically almost like the closeout, is what closes out your sale, is what describes the item to details, explain the customer what they're buying, what they're getting, what size, what color, etc. Shipping policy, return policy, etc., etc. So it's important that you have all these different elements. SEO is it's important, but not the most important. There's so many important factors when selling on Etsy, and all of them combined together make those stores go from, barely 500 sales a month to thousands of sales a month, right? So I hope that this tutorial sparked something in you in learning how to use Etsy Rank and how to look for keywords. If you look at Etsy Rank right here and you look at a keyword, it'll tell you baby headband, how many people using it. So it's over 50,000. They tapped it at 50,000. So as there's 300,000, almost 300,000 people using it, but it's 50,000 people using it. Competition is very high. If you sign up for their pro version, you get the demand and engagement, and you also get the long tail. So it is worth it. I only use the free one because I don't need to pay for this. I fully understand how to do my research. However, if this is new to you, I recommend, it's only $9.99 and you could write it off in your taxes. But when you go in here, let's say you were paying the pro, it's going to show you the demand. So normally when there's something in high in competition, the demand is going to be low, because it means that you don't need to create that product because there's already so many people creating it. Normally when something is like, let's say, like green in here, it's like low competition, the demand is going to be higher because there's not that many people creating it, but there's a lot of people looking for it. So it just, you're going to see it fluctuate. The most important metric in my opinion is competition. Just keep that in mind. If there's a lot of other people using it, you're going to have to work harder and make more of a contribution of getting your stuff out there, more exposure to get more exposure, or spend more money in advertising or marketing just to compete with the big dogs. But if you have a keyword or a product that is low competition but still has a high in demand that people are searching for it, you might make more sales than the other product that was very, very high in competition. So hopefully this tutorial has helped you. If you have any questions, leave them below, please. I'm really trying to create a sense of community, that we all come together, help each other out. And I feel that we all have room to grow on Etsy and make money. So therefore, this is why I do these videos, because I'm very passionate at helping other people. So if you feel the same way, if you have any questions, any comments, any emotional outbursts, leave them below, okay? Thank you guys for watching. Have a great day.